Turning now to politics, we have more this morning from the upcoming book by Washington Post reporters Carol Leonnig and Philip Rucker, entitled I Alone Can Fix It, Donald Trump's words. This latest excerpt recounts former President Donald Trump's reactions to the January 6th Capitol attack. Reading from the book, quote, early on January 6th, Trump called Pence, who was spending the morning at his Naval Observatory residence before heading to the Capitol. Pence again explained the legal limits on his authority as vice president and said he planned to perform his ceremonial duty as prescribed by the Constitution. But Trump showed him no mercy. You don't have the courage to make a hard decision, he told Pence at 2:10 p.m. The first rioter entered the Capitol by breaking a window and climbing inside. A stream of Trump warriors followed him. At the White House, Trump was back in his private dining room watching everything unfold on television. Aides, including Dan Scavino and Kayleigh McEnany, popped in and out. The president was riveted. His supporters had heeded his call to march on the Capitol with pride and boldness. For Trump, there was no more beautiful sight than thousands of energetic people waving Trump flags, wearing red MAGA caps, and fighting to keep him in power. He thought, this is cool. He was happy, recalled one aide who was with Trump that afternoon. Then, when it turned violent, he thought, oh, crap. As rioters marauded through the Capitol, it was clear whom they were looking for. Some of them shouted, hang Mike Pence. Trump didn't exactly throw them off the hunt. At 2:24 p.m., the president tweeted, Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution. Back at the White House, Keith Kellogg, the vice president's national security advisor, was worried about Pence's safety and went to find Trump. Is Mike okay? The president asked him. The Secret Service has him under control, Kellogg told Trump. Karen is there with the daughter. Oh, Trump asked. They're going to stay there until this thing gets sorted out, Kellogg said. Trump said nothing more. He didn't express any hope that Pence was okay. He didn't try to call the vice president to check on him. He just stayed in the dining room watching television. We should mention this account has not been independently confirmed by NBC News. Let's bring in NBC News and MSNBC national affairs analyst, host and executive producer of Showtime's The Circus, and host of the Hell and High Water podcast from The Recount, John Heilman. New York Times reporter and MSNBC national security analyst Michael Schmidt. And Casey Hunt joins us as well. Casey, we heard your announcement this morning. I've known about it. I'm practicing some radical acceptance right now, and it is not working. I've been with you on this journey, and so it's a dialectical. I can't accept it, and I'm really proud of you. So we'll talk more about this later. Michael Schmidt and John Heilman. Heilman, I'll go to you first. We can all talk to Casey a little bit more about this. But Heilman, the quotes from the book and the lack of any care for his vice president, it starts right there. What are your reactions?
Well, hey, good morning, Mika. And, it's been this period of the last week or two when we started to see these inside accounts. This the one that we're focusing on this morning, the Rucker and Carol Leonnig, is just the last couple of days have provided, an incredible amount of fodder. Almost all of it, in some sense, confirming and making vivid and making real a lot of things that we all kind of felt in our guts, or we knew through some reporting, and we saw some contemporaneous reporting. But these guys have gone so deep now into really kind of putting flesh on the bones to just how, what a perilous moment it was for the country, and just how dangerous Donald Trump was. Those are the big headlines here, it seems to me, whether you talk about the reporting from this same book yesterday about the chairman of the Joint Chiefs and his concerns about a Reichstag moment, and now the ones from the excerpt this morning, it almost is staggering, Mika, as Trump's total lack of care for Mike Pence. And again, we sort of knew he was tweeting attacking Pence at the moment when Pence was in physical mortal danger. And we talked about this on the show in real time or shortly thereafter. But almost as stunning as that in this excerpt is another fact that we basically knew, but really comes through blaringly, which is, where is Donald Trump, commander-in-chief? Where is Donald Trump in the residence on the phone talking to military leaders, talking to the National Guard, talking to anyone where he could be of assistance in trying to quell this violence as it was unfolding? Instead, he's passive, and both on some levels we see enjoying the sight of his minions acting with what he would consider strength, and on the other side, kind of acting with total human disregard for his completely loyal vice president for 4 years, but just so completely disengaged from the most fundamental constitutional obligation that he had at that point for another 16 days, which was, to protect the United States of America against enemies, foreign and domestic. Here, the country, the capital was under siege by enemies who were domestic, and Donald Trump is doing nothing, if anything, making the situation worse.